Oh, we're dressing up today?
What?
Wait, what?
You tell him what we weren't supposed to dress up? It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. I gotta get my costume on. It's morphing time!
Oh shit.
Dragon Zord! Yeah! Yeah, it's morphing time.
Holy balls.
Hold on, let me... Oh, wait. Shh, shut up. Shut up.
You didn't blow into it. Shh. Okay, now he's gonna blow into it.
I'm gonna summon the Dragon Zord. We're just gonna ignore that. Are we recording?
Yes.
Right.
No, we're not. It says start recording. Oh no, it says stop recording. Okay, we're good. It's been recording.
I would have been so mad because we have to do that all again.
The amount of effort that you put into that.
Take it off. Just to put it back on again.
Anyways, that was
Happy Halloween.
in 5.
Okay, go ahead.
In 5, 4, 3, 2. Everything's gonna be alright. Don't you be afraid when things go bump in the night. Get closer to me and baby hold on tight, 'cause everything's gonna be alright. That's the first song.
I have no idea what that is. No.
Alvin Chipmunks?
No.
Alvin and Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman?
No.
Oh, that was.
I remember that, but I don't remember the song.
Such a good song. They took it all off. I try to look at for the old Alvin and Chipmunk movies.
Yeah.
Like the old like animated classic ones. Can't find any of them.
Okay.
If you search it up on like Amazon Prime and stuff, none, all that comes up is the stupid 3D animated real life action ones.
Chipwrecked.
Stupid.
Alvin and the Chipmunks 3D Chipwrecked 2. The Squeakquel.
Anyways, summon the Dragon Zord.
I don't think he's coming, dude.
I got you. Hold on, wait. It was turned off. That's why.
That sounds like some... Oh, there he is.
There he comes.
Oh, it does it. That's pretty cool. Hey, we have a guest today. You want to?
Yeah.
You want to?
Oh, sorry about that. I forgot we had a guest today. He's sitting right here.
Right here.
Hi guys.
What up?
This
It's an honor to have.
body. This is how I look normally. For those of you who tuned into my stream, that's the secret. That wasn't
Everyone,
just
give it
camera.
up for Wiz. GameWiz10. Yeah.
GameWiz10.
Woo.
With the
Good
orange
evening.
pumpkin body. I like
ready
the
for
setup.
spooky
The
season.
setup's really cool.
Ready for spooky season.
I'm so proud of this, and I'm gonna have to keep this kind of momentum when we move into the Yule time. I'm gonna have to actually get Christmas lights and some Santa's whatnot. Although hanging Santa might be a little bit dark looking. Maybe we'll
Hanging
do
Santa?
nutcrackers. Yeah. I mean, I've got to have something hanging. I've got the ghost. I've got Lewis. I'll have to come up with something Christmas themed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hang up a bunch of like paper snowflakes or something.
Reindeer.
Reindeer. Yeah.
Hanging reindeer. Like,
Yeah,
not
that'll
from
work.
the neck, though.
This is for spooky season, yes.
We say
I mean,
we say
protein,
hanging
you know?
reindeer, and
Reindeer
Wiz
meat.
just has like in a butcher shop when they have the meat hanging in the background. He's
Yeah.
like, look guys, I got some reindeer at the butcher shop. It was real cheap.
You know, we gotta keep it spooky themed, so I'll start with well. Before we start, how you doing, Wiz? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a long week, and I'm ready to start the next one. But happy to be here also, and all the decorations and the lovely pumpkin I have burning right now really make the atmosphere pleasant.
You're
That's cool. You kind of buzzed out a little bit in between there, but we got the gist of what you were saying.
It's fine. I hope
It's great.
that's-
I hope
Things are
you're able to
great.
keep this keep up.
Yeah.
But watch any spooky shows or movies lately?
Yeah, I watched. I've been watching Supernatural. I rewatched Jujutsu Kaisen, which I consider a spooky show. You're dealing with curses and mutants and whatever else they have in that show. And then I've been watching a couple horror movies here and there. I watched Annabelle last night, and then
By yourself?
I'm built different, brother.
So you just watch spooky movies for fun by yourself?
Yeah.
I could never.
I can't. Do
I mean,
that.
what am I going to do? Invite somebody?
Yeah.
We could have a Discord watch along.
Discord watch along. That's even then. If I'm physically by myself, I don't know if I can do it. I was one of those
really?
people that hide under the blankets because that's my safe spot.
Yeah.
And then,
No,
and
by
then the
myself
one was
in
it The
dark.
Grudge or The Ring where the girl hides on a blanket, but then like she opens it and the Grudge is like right there in her face.
It's the Grudge. That's
that messed me up. I'm like, that's the safe spot. That's not supposed to happen. You
Yeah,
can't do
yeah.
that. You're breaking rules here, Grudge. Get out of there. What are you doing?
The Ring. I used to be afraid of The Ring and The Grudge. Those were my two. Like Asian horror just gets me. I don't know if it's like the personal
Asian
space
women
or
are
just
scary.
yeah.
Hence my mom.
But
Hey, don't ruin my chances in the future. Sly, come on now.
the Ring I was able to watch again, and I'm like, this isn't so bad. So The Ring doesn't bother me anymore. The Grudge really messed me up. Like I still haven't watched it again in my adult life.
Was it the girl from The Ring or the girl from The Grudge that voices Lilo? Was it The Ring? I'm pretty sure it was the girl from The Ring.
Lilo, as in Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, she.
Okay.
The scary girl from The Ring.
Probably The Ring
is
because
the
she's
voice
younger.
for Lilo.
The girl from The Grudge.
This
I
is
think
a
is an
fact I
adult
never
woman.
knew.
This is it's crazy.
What'd you
Fun
say?
fact,
It's
there's some movie trivia.
movie trivia.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
never
I
see.
didn't
I'll never
know
watch
about that.
Lilo and Stitch the same.
Oh, here I got a spooky little story that happened in real life. All right, so me and Brooke were watching this show. It's like they do they like react whatever happens events. It was like a haunting show where like this person comes into a nursing home and she gets like possessed, right?
Oh yeah.
So there was a point in the show where they're just reenacting the whole thing. Like they're like telling stories, but the show recreates it.
yeah.
So there's a part in the show where it's like an exorcism that's happening, right? And do you know the sound of fire alarm or fire like a smoke detector when it's on low battery?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as the exorcism is happening on TV, our smoke detector does the low battery sound, right? It goes
Yeah.
beep, and we both just looked at it and like, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, so our smoke detector needs a new battery. That's what happens, right? So we just ignore it and start watching kept watching our show, the whole spooky thing, whatever. And then after it, a couple days go by, and I'm thinking, I haven't heard that smoke detector go off in a while. I thought it had low battery, and I brought it up to Brooke. I'm like, have you heard? Remember when we were watching, and it went off? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, have we heard it happen again? She said, nope. I'm like, should we address this? She's like, nope, we're just gonna ignore it. I'm like, all right, I guess we're just ignoring this. Because it happened at a crucial moment in the show where it was like exorcisms happening and then like demon whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then the smoke detector just goes beep. And I'm like, we both looked at it because it scared us. It was like, oh, okay, it's just a smoke detector. It's just low on battery. It's gonna keep happening until we replace the battery. Nope, haven't heard from it ever since. So I'm just like, what was that?
I don't.
What was that?
That was the ghost that was the person being possessed.
In the show.
The demon came out of it, out of the TV, went right by your.
Don't tell me that. Why would you tell me that?
Right by your.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
stage
that was
my
the
house
plot
when I
of
get home.
Poltergeist.
Yeah. Right by the smoke detector, and it went beep, and then it went out the window.
No.
Or stayed in your house somewhere.
No, don't
They're here.
Don't tell me that.
The little child-sized Mickey is going to start.
Yo, I hate you, kind of, for getting little one that, because it's just the size. It's as big as her, and she carries around like she's bringing back wounded soldiers from a war. She's like carrying it one arm, and kids like, let's go, and then that's a different story.
That's fantastic.
It's so funny to watch though. But yeah, smoke
Do you
detector.
have a favorite horror movie
does
to
not
watch
need new
then? If
battery.
you're not going to watch Annabelle by yourself, I'm kind of curious. Like,
Wait,
do you have? Is there a level where it becomes too scary, or even something that might be around this season that you just enjoy watching?
Are you talking about like scary? Yeah,
I've never seen Annabelle myself. I've seen The Conjuring.
It's pretty good.
I want to see Annabelle. I've seen The Conjuring, and I've seen what was the other one? Oh, Conjuring 2, and it had like, had some little pieces of Annabelle and the Nun, and is it the Smiling Man or something like that?
I'm not sure. I've only seen the first Conjuring. I've seen the Nun, and now I've seen Annabelle. I've never actually watched the second Conjuring. I'm very limited to what's on streaming services. I'll let you know.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
back in the day, me and my cousins and my little brother, we would go rent a movie. Yeah, rent a movie, Blockbuster, Family Video. Yeah, that.
Back in my
day. But no, we would rent a really scary movie. Depending on whatever was big at the time, we would rent a scary movie, and we would also rent a comedy. So we would watch the scary movie first, and then immediately right after, we would watch a comedy. So
Watch cartoons after.
We would have to watch a comedy movie.
Eye bleach.
You know what was, because you reminded me of being young and old now, but when I was younger, a scary movie that actually did scare me was Gremlins, because I watched that when I was probably like 11. Have you ever seen Gremlins?
Yeah.
That did scare you, or it didn't scare you?
Oh, it scared me when I was 11. Nowadays, I'd just laugh at it. But back then, I was like, oh, it's a little bit. Got to me a little bit.
Yeah, because Gremlins is actually it's a PG kind of
PG before
PG-13
was as big a staple as is now. Like,
yeah.
At least I had heard this. Anybody out there listening can fact check me on this, but I actually had heard that the second Indiana Jones movie was the one that really made PG-13 have so many more guidelines, because before, I think originally that one was released as PG, and anybody that's watched Indiana Jones Temple of Doom knows that one gets a little bit brutal for PG standards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I think it's rated as PG-13, but I think at the time it was very shocking to a lot of people.
For some reason, I always thought Gremlins and Furbies were the same thing. So guess what I was doing
Probably
with
'cause
Furbies? I was
Gizmo.
dunking Furbies into water, seeing if they would change.
Why?
Weren't those electric?
I don't know why. Little stupid boy me thought that Gremlins and Furbies were the same thing. So I would just get the Furbies and just put water on them. It's like, come on, change.
Was it I'm trying to think now, because there's Feeding After Midnight, and then there's the
Dunking them in water made them multiply, and then feeding them after midnight is what turned them into demons.
it's what changed them. That's why you didn't feed him after midnight. You didn't touch his tongue after midnight.
It's just...
But Gremlins is, and I want your opinion on it also.
Of course.
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
I think it could be, and I would also make that argument about Nightmare Before Christmas.
So
Therefore,
both of them.
watching, both of them can be watched at either part of either season, because they're also both on their own very good movies.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween / Christmas
I've never seen
movie.
Die Hard.
Die Hard's Christmas movie.
I've never seen it, but I keep I'll die on that.
I have. I
heard
tell
it
you,
once,
Die
and
Hard's
now it's a
Christmas
fact
movie.
to me.
It's set at Christmas time. It's a Christmas movie. Same thing with Gremlins. Gremlins is set at Christmas time. Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter that it's kind of a horror movie. It's a Christmas movie.
Now,
it's also a comedy, though.
You said your dad was very much into all those horror movies and stuff like that. So you probably watched a lot of them growing up, right?
Yeah. Well,
did you have? Yeah. Could you say maybe a top 3? Because you probably watched a lot of them. Like, October 1st, you're like, okay, this month I got to watch these 3 movies to feel like I'm in the season. Or was it such a normal place for you that it doesn't matter?
I don't watch too many horror movies anymore, but I will say, I did make a top 5 list of movies that make it feel like it's Halloween, even though they're not technically like Halloween movies. They're just movies that like AMC, the TV channel AMC would play during Halloween season, and it would just make me feel like it's Halloween or whatever. Not in any particular order, but they're Jeepers Creepers.
That's a good one.
Idle Hands, Pumpkinhead.
I've seen that one. That's a good one.
Poltergeist.
They're here.
And 13 Ghosts. The newer 13 Ghosts is like one of my favorite horror movies.
I like to watch some more joking ones sometimes, but I like to mix it in with scary ones like Annabelle Last Night. But say probably my top 3 spooky season movies would be The Third Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Nightmare Before Christmas, and yeah, we're still keeping it light. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you've never watched that, add it to your list.
That's a fantastic movie.
Give me 3.
So growing up, I would watch by accident. I watched it by accident when I was little. So that movie scarred me, but I still watched it. And then
hey, Georgie.
There was what other movie? Shoot.
We all float down here.
Red Rose Red.
Red. We talked about that. That was last time. I think
that movie. Scared. I don't know why I sat down and watched the whole thing by myself.
Yeah,
but
I watched it with my parents while I was getting a haircut. While Mom was cutting my hair in the living room, I had that on, and I was like,
"That's such a weird."
Dad was watching it, Mom was cutting my hair, and I'm watching it too, and it scared the shit out of me.
And
have you ever seen that, Wiz?
No, I never actually heard of that. I was listening to y'all's podcast in the gym earlier today, and I was like, huh. Red Rose, Red, something like that. Never heard of it, but I'm gonna add that to the list.
It was a mini series.
It was good for its time, for sure, with all the special effects and stuff.
I think it still has some pretty good spooks in it.
I don't remember it. Like, I remember bits and pieces, but then like to watch it all the way through again, I might do it this Halloween. We'll see. But I haven't seen it in such a long time, and it's gonna be new for me.
Yeah, if you do, let me know.
Yeah,
we could do a Discord watch party, and we'll all watch it together. Because I want to watch it again.
Isn't it like 3 hours?
Oh, that'd be great.
It's a mini series, so it's like it's at least 3 hours long.
But
it might be 6.
As
actually.
of now, there's
Stephen King.
There's 3 different movies / I'll say movies, because one was a short film kind of. I watch every like spooky season.
Yeah.
Because it just gets you in the spirit of Halloween. First one is a Disney original movie, Don't Look Under the Bed.
I thought you were gonna say it's something else, but
it's an excellent underrated movie. Yeah, that's like a millennial call out right there. Yeah. Anybody that hasn't seen it,
you know they took that off because it was scaring too many children.
I believe it. That was a pretty brutal movie, but it was like actually very well done for like a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
The concept of imaginary friend, if you forget your imaginary friend, they become the boogeyman. That was crazy to me. I was like, oh, my friends, are you still here?
They put some lore on imaginary friends and the boogeyman. Like, that was actually very well written, in my opinion. Like, maybe I'm looking at it in nostalgia goggles, but that was very good. But don't let me interrupt. Carry on.
And then Nightmare Before Christmas, of course.
Saw that in theaters.
And the third one
Christmas movie,
is more of a short film. It's an anime short film.
Ooh.
It's called Kakarenbo. Or
that's a list.
Kakarenbo, something like that.
Is that the?
I watch this every time, guys. I can't pronounce the name though.
Yeah. Is it the one that's the web-based one?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So it's not it's classified as horror, but it's not really that scary. But it's basically just it's about an urban legend where kids go to this town or city or whatever and play hide and seek, and there's demons in there that find them, and they have to hide from the demons, which is a crazy concept. Like it's not that scary, but it is like the visuals of it, kind of, depending on who you ask. The demons.
Listen, anime can be terrifying.
Yeah,
there's especially the older anime, like some retro stuff. Oof.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, is it like Demon Slayer demons, or is it like actually scary demons?
No, it's like
Berserk demons.
Yeah,
sure.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But the only reason I remember that was because when I was like really little, I think they aired it on like Adult Swim, and I watched it.
Probably.
And at the time, I was scared, but like watching it now as you're older, it's like, it's not that creepy. But yeah, I would check out. It's there's a free, you can watch it free on YouTube, but like the quality's like really bad. But it's called
sure
Kakarenbo, something like that. I just watched it yesterday.
Kakariko Village.
But for the highlight's sake, what's a hot take on the Halloween season that you have? Because we had some hot takes in the group chat earlier today and yesterday. So what do you guys have for a hot take?
Yeah, about that.
Are we gonna put Thrash on blast?
We won't.
He can't defend himself.
Name names.
As
he just named names.
You just named a name.
Too late.
No, I don't really have anything. I'm more like just let people do whatever they want to. As long as they're not hurting themselves or
a hot take could be
else.
anything. Like you could say, It is a crappy horror movie or something. I
don't know. I don't even think I have
Did
any
you hear that?
hot takes.
Did you hear that?
Huh?
Did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
What was that?
That's Wilbert.
I'm like you gave him a name. I'm like that.
If you can't hear it, Wiz, the house is creaking and cracking around. I think Mom just turned the water on.
I think maybe I just triggered the house. Maybe it's a really big It fan.
Yeah. Is that your hot take?
Then how about we trigger the white girls? What do you guys think about pumpkin spice?
Well, wait a minute. Before that, is that your hot take that you think It is a terrible movie?
Oh no, I think it's a great movie.
Okay, the original.
No,
or
I can go
one?
into some hot takes, but the original. I actually never saw the original. I only saw the remake.
The original, I think, was like okay.
I think the original.
I don't remember that much from the original.
The original was creepier.
The remake, Chapter 1, is amazing.
Yeah.
Chapter 2 sucks ass.
I wouldn't say it sucks ass, but it felt like the pacing was kind of off. And I've never read the book, so I don't know if that's how it went, but it felt like they were trying to wrap up too fast.
It took everything that made the first one great, and it just, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Because they know, like, spoiler alert for it.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
Come on now. You can see it anywhere.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, they find out that as long as you're not afraid of it, it doesn't have power. Like Pennywise will literally crumble if you're not afraid of him. And
then they defeat it with the power of friendship.
Yeah, basically at the end of the movie. And then they're like, yay, everything's good now. And then Chapter 2 is like, how many ever years, 27 years in the future or something like that. And they're all grown up and they're all drawn back to Derry or whatever the name of the town is and stuff like that.
I think that was it.
And it's like, cool. You all remember him. You all still have like nightmares of him and stuff like that, which is understandable. It's still scary. You know to not give him power by being afraid. And then it just like, it basically tries to take what was scary about the first one and kind of shoehorn like children moments into it again. but they're all grown adults now. So I'm like, it doesn't fucking make any sense.
Yeah. I would say that's a good hot take. I would say my hot take overall when it comes to the spooky season stuff, specifically horror movies, is that 99% of them do suck ass, whether it be It or any of the other ones, or at the very least, to me, none of them are actually scary, or when they try to be scary, they're trying too hard. For me, what makes a horror movie is the same thing that makes a romance movie a romance. You're focusing on human interaction and love with a romance, and those are emotions and things that we've all experienced. But for a horror movie to be a good horror movie, you need to focus on fear and the possible expectations of something that you would not expect. Something like as innocent as going through the dark alone at night, hearing bumps or creaks in the attic that you maybe aren't expecting.
Yeah.
Leads to a certain anticipation, and then you can go and exactly, and then you can follow it up with something that would actually be terrifying. But most horror movies, even some of the classics like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, which in an essence are good, aren't actually that scary because of how visually focused they are or how off-put they are from the unexpected idea. Like when I watched those movies, I wasn't afraid at all. I thought it was comical to a sense.
Well, that's why they're called slasher movies now, because they're not technically horror movies, but they're like, you know, killer, like gore and blood and stuff like that.
Right. But I think, and I could be corrected on this, but I would actually, I think one of the first quote unquote slasher movies was actually Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. In that movie, I would actually say is pretty terrifying, especially if you're a woman watching it, because it was putting somebody who felt like a relatively innocent person in that position of being in an unknown motel, doing something maybe she shouldn't have been doing. Because I think it's been a while since I watched it, but I think she was like having an affair or something and running away with some other guy, and then
she gets
executed.
I don't know about that, but she was also she had like robbed a bank or robbed someone.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't a fair. It was just like embezzlement or something. But yeah, so she was already doing something bad, and it was already like maybe putting her mind into that position, and she felt like she was in a safe place at this motel, and then all that other craziness happens. Funny story is my grandmother actually watched that in theaters when it came out, because, you know, it's a relatively old movie.
Yeah, that's
and cool. She then went out on the street and was trying to hail a cab. Those days, and somebody just tapped her on the shoulder to ask for some directions, and she just flipped out screaming. It was terrified the guy. It was like made a scene out of nowhere because of how frightening that movie actually was. And that was, you know, at the time she was a younger woman watching that by herself. So I think that most horror movies really, really miss the mark on that unless they try very hard. My personal favorite one that I think did very good at that was The Witch, if you've ever watched that, which didn't even have a single jump scare. It was just all building expectations till you get that final moment at the end of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil in case anybody hasn't seen it. The Witch, yes.
The Witch. I have not seen it yet, but I've heard a lot about it, and I want to see that. Have you heard that?
I would say it's the built-up expectations that lead you to a satisfying conclusion at the end, and that's how it had been done with Alfred Hitchcock, and, you know, as far back as like horror poets like Edgar Allan Poe. That's my hot take, though.
The feeling of uneasiness and the tension building, and
the feeling of uneasiness and the thematic storytelling of focusing on expectations and fear.
That makes sense. Because last night, I'm telling you right now, I watched the show. It's on HBO Max. It's called Folklore. I don't know if any of you have heard that. So it's going through a bunch of folklore from different countries, and so the one that we watched last night was about an Indonesian, I guess, urban legend, kind of like Mothman or whatever. So folklore.
Well, I love me some Mothman. Carry on.
So it's folklore
cryptids.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So the one that they did last night was called I might be getting this wrong.
Don't mispronounce its name, or it'll
just send it out. I may know this one.
See, now you put me on the spot. The way it's spelled sounds like it's called Wee Wee.
Okay.
or is it Way Gombo?
I haven't heard of this one, but carry on.
So
something like that.
The Way Gombo is a woman who couldn't have kids, so she kills herself.
Oh, horrible.
Now she's a vengeful spirit who kidnaps kids that are willing or that have been neglected and willing to come with her. So if she sees this vengeful spirit, she finds kids who have been neglected and she kidnaps them. But because she wants to nurture the kid and all this stuff, but she's a ghost, so she can't do it. So she keeps these kids and they starve to death, and once they die, she eats them. That's the urban legend, that's the folklore of the Way Gombo, whatever.
I love that so much, honestly. I love
so,
my mythology.
So we're watching it,
cryptids.
And also they have like...
Wait, what'd you say, Wiz?
I said I love that so much. I love my mythology and cryptids.
Oh, yeah.
So the premise of it was, it's like an hour long each episode, and it's always a different creature or whatever. But so the whole episode was about this single mother who has a son, and basically, it's building up to reveal this
climax.
Yeah. It's building up to this point where, all right, so like she is in the house and she finds all these kids. Like she's a cleaning lady. She cleans the house. She stays in there for the night, but then she hears things. So she goes and investigate, which I would never do that.
So this is like a narrative driven.
Yeah.
It's like not a reenactment or not like a documentary thing or anything. It's like a mini horror movie with the folklore
with
as the monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's building up, right? And then, like she's a cleaning lady. She's cleaning this house, and then it's nighttime. She goes to sleep in the house with her son, and she hears these. Yeah, she hears weird noises. So she goes to investigate. First off, that's where I would have left, in a big ass house like that, and I start hearing noises that. But like throughout the show too, she's just like she's like brushing off. Oh, it must be rats. I'm like, first off, that's denial.
Yeah.
But then she goes and investigate, and she goes into the attic. That's when she finds all these kids that are just standing there menacingly. It was so that creeped me out. I'm like, oh my god. And then she calls the police. Police comes, gets all the kids. Because at first, before it was revealed like those kids are alive, at first I'm like, oh my god, those are dead children. They're ghosts up in the attic. But no, like the police come and they get all the kids out, and like the kids don't know why they were there. They can't remember who brought them there and stuff. I'm like, oh, so this is real. Like, so the kids are real. And then, so also the son is like, I'm really bad at storytelling, I'm sorry. But so the son
the son is actually 35 years old.
Kids.
So the son would always like zone out and like go in like a trance every now and then.
Oh yeah.
So it's supposed to be like leading to like, oh, the Way Gambo whatever is drawing him in, trying to lure him in. And then basically it goes towards the end, the mother and kid have a fight, or the mom's really angry at the kid, so she like kind of like leaves him in the house for a little bit. So she goes on and like takes a little drive by herself, and the kid, is like crying, blah blah, because now he's neglected, and that's when he gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
So I'm just skimming through a bunch of this because it was really upsetting towards the end. Because so gets to the end, kid's been kidnapped, mother realizes it and goes to find the kid, and she goes back to where she found all the other kids. She gets there, she finds her son, 'cause that's where he was, and so she grabs it, like she tries to like get him because to get kidnapped by the Way whatever, you have to be willing. So he was willing, so he is there. He's stuck there until he lets go or whatever. So the mom's like trying to beg him, like, come, we gotta go. You have to come with me. I'm sorry, I won't do this again. And so she convinces the boy to come, and then the boy, they're hugging, and then the appearance of the Wei
heaven comes up.
Yeah.
The monster is like big, scary, menacing. And I'm like, oh, this is it. What's about that? Is she gonna kill them? Like, what's going on? And like, it's just start slowly walking towards the mom and son. And the mom's like, you do whatever you want. Just let my son go. You blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, crying, like begging and stuff. It's like, do whatever you want. And like, she's hugging her son. And then the Wei just comes closer and closer and like, you know, very climactic. And I'm just like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? This bitch just hugs them and leaves. I'm like, this, I was so mad. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, she literally just goes, disappears. I'm like,
she saw a mother's love, and she was like, that's all right.
I'm like, this is
That's okay with me.
Eat them, do something.
I'll say something though, where, I mean, two things. First, I'm going to say, like, what kind of lesson do you think that folklore says?
Don't neglect your kids.
Yeah, I was going to say, because a lot of folklore, at least for me, at least what I've heard, a lot of folklore is based out of like real things. Like a lot of things that are meant to scare children are like, don't go out, don't play outside too late, or the Wakumbi will come and
get you,
steal your, you know,
they're like old-fashioned PSAs.
yeah. Except for, you know, like, you'll get kidnapped. It was like a monster's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like what Krampus was. It was like,
yeah,
if you misbehave, you got cold. If you really misbehave, you're gonna get kidnapped in the middle of the night, thrown in a sack, and brought out to the Black Forest to get eaten later that night. It like got hella dark.
Yeah,
that was a thing.
One or the other. Pick your poison. I'll just take the coal, please.
Yeah.
I might be butchering that a little bit.
The coal helps me stay warm. Oh, but the other thing was, the thing that really scares me isn't so much, because everyone's like, everything's jump scares now. Yeah. Even when you play games.
It's terrible.
Games are mostly jump scares. Five Nights at Freddy, thanks. And but the stuff that really scares me is just like, and I think I'm not on TikTok a lot, but I have seen a lot of like people reacting to TikToks of like this. It's where it's like weird things that are just there, and they might like start coming closer to you or something like that. Things that, like when you said like she appears and she just like looks creepy and just starts slowly coming towards you. That's what gets me being like, yeah. and I think that has a lot to do with why I'm like the thing that gets me about Asian horror is they look creepy for one, but it feeds on like the invasion of personal space, which I think is weird. Like where you said like you lift up the covers and there's just a head there. It's like, that's too close.
They could test the boundaries.
Like, you don't even see
some
them.
Of those TikTok horror ones, because I think it plays back to what I was saying is realistic and believable, because most of them, like most TikToks, are kind of janky. They're filmed on somebody's phone like I do, and that gives them a sense of reality. Like the set is probably somebody's apartment or something, and then that creepy thing is something that looks real because they probably are just using themselves and put some kind of filter on or some makeup on or something like that. Like it's below a $5 budget, and that makes it somewhat believable. Like nowadays, I sincerely doubt anybody's going to random motels as they're embezzling money or something like that, like it was in Psycho. Now it's not scary, but back then, semi-believable.
Now they're packing. Well, if they are
now they're packing,
embezzling.
Because like even as I'm sitting right here, like I can look over this way and think to myself, did I lock the front door? If somebody just walks in there right now, or if I see a face out the side of my eye, I got my headphones on, like I'm slightly exposed right now. It kind of adds to a bit of spookiness.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to realistic TikTok stories and news, have you guys heard about any just recently there's been a lot of crash landings?
Oh no, that's not what I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna talk about the other thing that we were talking about before.
Some
No,
guy
I
who
haven't
may have worked at McDonald's for publicity. No, we're not.
Wait,
going
no,
there.
where are you talking about?
We're not
What
going
are you talking
there.
about? I want to know what you're talking about.
No, I was talking about. I did see that, but we're not gonna get into that. Not this episode, at least. I thought you were gonna talk about the app where it picks random locations for you to go to.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we should
Or
talk about that
whatever.
too. We should talk about that too.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
But before we get to that,
Mysterious crash landings or whatever.
mysterious crash landings. So apparently, and I'm just I literally just I tried to do as much research as I could on the car ride here because it popped up before I left the house. Apparently there has been something fell out of the sky, and
Studio lights.
people from 4 different states saw it, but there's no news coverage of it, whatever. But there's a lot of reports on it. So the theory is that it's either 1, UFO, 2, satellite, 3, a attack on U.S. soil, but they're trying to cover it up,
I mean, that could be.
or 4, comet. So
I mean, it
was
could also
looking-
be. I don't know if you said that because I forget what 2 was, but it could be like government testing
Mhm.
that
So
like crash landed or something like that.
So the most logical one to me, I would like
we
it
all
to
live
be
in a matrix.
I would like it to be aliens. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but most logical one would be a satellite, because there was multiple accounts in 4 different states, and there was like a bunch of different crash landings. I believe a satellite broke or fell down and it just spread across. That would make the most
And
sense.
Elon Musk's like, they're just making space waste up there.
And if it was a foreign country attacking us, I think there'll be more alarms, more concern,
There'd be
more
coverage of it,
firefights. So I
Bring
ruled
out
that
the
one out.
rednecks.
What?
Yeah.
Bring out the rednecks. We're under attack.
See, here's the thing. I think it's in all the other foreign countries' best interest to not go to war with us like that, to make us a surprise, because we have a lot of guns. I think that's where the other countries would fuck up, because
Deploy the cryptids.
they underestimate the amount of guns we have. So I think that's just me being honest. Like, was it Red Dawn?
That's a good movie. The remake is
Yeah,
good too.
Red
It had
Dawn's
Chris
kind of
Hemsworth
funny,
in it.
though.
Yeah, I'm just saying we have a
Like
lot
the-
of guns.
The fact that U.S. military, like that group of teenagers, could do more than the U.S. military could against the Russians.
It's a good movie.
I know it's entertaining.
Wolverines.
Did you guys ever watch any like Halloween time specials growing up that come to mind? Because I know when I was younger, I had a DVD with like a bunch of those Nickelodeon Halloween specials, like SpongeBob
yes.
and Rocket Power and
Yes,
stuff.
Yes. love
Fun
those.
fact: I just my cousin's the one who got me into this also, but on YouTube you can find like 3 to 4 hour long videos of like just someone who had recorded their TV during
I love it. The
that time.
commercials too.
and it has commercials included from the time also.
The old commercials. I love it.
So I have one saved that's Halloween. I think it's like Fox Kids Saturday morning cartoon Halloween episodes, and it has like I started watching them. There was like Bobby's World, Power Rangers, I think, or no, Beetleborgs was on there. Yeah. It had a Goosebumps episode on there, and it had a couple other episodes of things. Totally Spies, I think, was one of the ones.
Oh god, I forgot about Totally Spies. That's a flashback.
They're making
right
a
there.
remake of that.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to have all
I
the
can believe
kinks
it.
that the original had? Kinks for the new generation? Or fetish, that's what I mean.
Fetish?
Fetish.
Kinks.
Fetishes for the new generation.
Chains and whips, baby.
Have you seen I've talked, or no, I haven't talked about it, but I've seen videos on how Totally Spies was basically just like a fetish generator or whatever. Like every episode was a different fetish.
I have to rewatch some episodes. Then I don't remember that being a thing at all.
So I was gonna be watching and being like, "Oh, there's mine."
Yeah, so that's where that came.
That's where the feet thing came. No, let's go back to the app. Let's go back to the app.
Yeah.
What's the app called?
I forget. That's on you, my friend.
Yeah. Also, commercial break. I have been drinking this. It's Pacus, I think. It's boba tea, the taro boba tea, the whole time. It's pretty good. I like taro. I remember liking taro the best because it has like a cookies and cream taste to it.
I always associate it with birthday cake flavor.
It does have like
I've been drinking Witching Hour Sweet Red Blend.
Ooh, nice. He's a fancy.
Shoot.
This was my cheat meal for the week.
But sorry to interrupt. I'm just at the bottom of the can, and I wanted to really.
No, it's fine. If I was holding G Fuel right here, I'd give them a shout out too.
We're not even sponsored by them yet.
No.
I wish we were. This is pretty good.
You gotta say controversies and get some highlights in here. Put up those fake podcast TikToks and stuff.
There we go.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure 99% of those podcast videos that you see on TikTok aren't actually podcasts. They're people just baiting.
They're just filming like they're filming a podcast. They don't actually have a podcast. That's true.
I do not believe half of them are real. Like there's some that are obvious where you've got like a legitimate guest, like maybe somebody does some weird edits of Neil deGrasse Tyson to make it look like he's saying something weird. Sure, he's clearly on Joe Rogan, but it's just like a one-to-one guy out of nowhere that nobody's ever heard of saying something completely ludicrous. I don't believe it.
Yeah, that reminds me of I had a theory that all like the YouTubers and TikTokers that are like motivational, like get up, motivate, like do your work and stuff like that, like what was it called, what's the trend where it's like the hustle culture,
keep grinding,
grind, yeah, the grind set, all the grind set things were like their grind was just getting up and making videos talking about the grind set. Like they actually didn't have a grind. Their grind was making videos about the grind. So it was just like a loop. Yeah.
A pyramid scheme.
Yeah, basically.
follow my link, buy my book, and it'll teach you how to make money from making videos.
Yeah, make videos talking about a grind set.
Yeah. I'm still contemplating myself making a third channel. Like I have the me one and then GameWiz. But I'm thinking about doing another one called GainWiz, where I could focus more on the fitness stuff. Because any kind of fitness posts I make right now are really, really dead because they don't tie into the gaming stuff that I typically make.
Yes, do it. Because I think that you would have I think you'd be on Gym Talk. Like, I think if you made GainWiz, that it would go far.
I would hope.
And if not, then
maybe
you
if I hit that Yuji Itadori physique that I'm aiming for, it'll really go somewhere.
Hell yeah. You'll bleed some weebs over from the
not Yuji, Toji. Sorry. Yuji's got a good shape too, but everybody watches Toji more. That man's wearing a compression shirt.
I haven't watched it in a while because I have only watched
Yuji
season
is
1.
the main protagonist. Toji was the guy that comes in season 3 that wears the black compression shirt that everybody makes the Gym Talk reels about.
Is he the one that really likes Jennifer Lawrence or whatever?
No, that is gotta forget his name. That's a really big rip dude that was in the second half of the first season, but very funny character also. Brother. Completely sidetracked though. Please, Sly. I'm gonna turn towards you.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us about your spooky.
Oh, you're actually facing me on the other thing.
Tell me about your spooky app.
So so it's called Randonautica. Randonautica?
Randonautica. I remember that now. Yeah.
Okay. We should do it.
I think it's dumb.
You think
we're not doing it where I live. You're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
Okay. So
especially at night.
I'll let you do your pitch, and then I'll tell you what I saw about it.
Okay. Basically, it gives you a random coordinate that you go to. The idea of it is that it's supposed to generate randomness.
It's supposed to like bring about quantum synchronicities or something like that.
Yeah. And you know, because like usually everyone has a routine every day. They want to break you out of that routine, the matrix, and take you on a little adventure, a journey. And whatever focus you set on is what could possibly happen.
Oh yeah, because while you're hitting random spot to go to on the app, you're also supposed to like visualize what you want to, like a place where you want to go.
Kind of reminds me of Total Recall.
A place you want to go, or like what you want to, what you
want to see. Yeah,
expecting
something you want.
I just want to go to the
pumpkin
pumpkin patch. Damn it.
Yeah, so like you would hit the random button and you'd be like, I want to go to a pumpkin patch, and then it would be like just random. Maybe it'll take you to a pumpkin patch. I don't know. I think because I watched a video where guys try that out, and the only time that it took them to a place where they were actually like visualizing or contemplating or whatever was whenever he said it out loud. So I think it might be connected to the microphone, and it might have like heard him and then say something about that, or like it might have heard him say where he wanted to go, and like used AI or whatever to calculate an exact spot, because they're like, wow, this is actually a spot. But it's also the only time that they said where they wanted to go.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep seeing creepy, eerie stuff that people would go to, and it's like creepy and eerie. I'm like, I want to. That
was the actual thing that was on the news that made them shut down and have to rebrand or whatever. Was it led kids to a spot near a lake or whatever, and they found a suitcase floating in the water that had human remains in it. Chopped up human remains.
It's got to be like a 1 in a million chance, unless the admins of the app
and what the kids want to. I just find this a little ironic and funny, is that their focus was travel. So like a suitcase. No, that's still pretty fucked up.
But you want to try that.
But like I've seen what you said, like look up TikToks about it and stuff like that. I've seen some things where people are like, it takes you to like weird locations, and like someone went to a location one time that was at like a warehouse, and there was a shady figure walking around or something like that, and they're like, oh no, or something. But the guys that I watched that were actually trying it, I don't know who they were. I don't know what the channel name was or whatever. But when they did it, they tried it maybe like 5 to 10 times throughout the whole video.
Yeah.
And twice, maybe like 1.5 times, they actually got to a place that was kind of creepy, kind of scary. And they're also like, why are we doing this at night? And they're like, because everything's scarier at night. That's wrong. And then it took them to like a bad neighborhood, and they're like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is scary for other reasons.
There's a couple conspiracies about it. One is that it's a trafficking app, and like it takes you places, and then they kidnap you. That's why strength in numbers. And the other one is that it's actually like connected with like the dark web, and people are like putting
also trafficking and organ.
Not so much trafficking. For the dark web is like people are committing crimes, and they're pinpointing like these locations so like people can find things, like the suitcase.
That was one of the first places that they went to in that video. It took them to like this dirt road out to a field or whatever, and they kept noticing there was like little. I mean, it was at night, so if it was daytime, it would be completely different atmosphere. But they kept finding like little Christmas tree ornaments hung on bushes along the trail. And they're like, dude, this is creepy. But I swear, like, if it was in daytime, it would be like, this is sweet.
Let's go follow it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. I am curious. It's piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I want to try it just to see.
I'm not
if
afraid.
I go missing, fuck around, find out.
Yeah. That's the part I'm worried about. Is it like taking me to places like I'm walking down the street, like I'm looking for this place on the map, and then like hooded figures come out of the alley and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And it's like, I'm just following up. Yeah, it's a likely story.
What hood you from?
They come out with guns and lead pipes and stuff like that.
See, that's why strength in numbers and stay strapped. Let's go.
Yeah.
We going on a journey.
Actually, I have something I can contribute to this if you guys want to eventually take a truly spooky adventure. So, for the Halloween season in the past, I did a lot of deep research into mythology and all of that. Most traditional Halloween comes from Ireland. Now, it was completely different. What we do today has nothing to do with that at all. But what's interesting and also plays off into this conspiracy that other people have posted is that all the Irish, the fairies, and their deities and whatnot in ancient times called the Tuath Dudan and all of that. Eventually, the mythology goes that it was all chased away by Saint Patrick and the other saints that showed up there from with the Catholics get all of them out, snakes and all that. That's the mythology. But where they went in the mythology that I didn't know about was they all hide in these caves that are only accessible around All Hallows Eve. And that world was called Avalon, which was also referenced in Shakespeare in what's the name of that? Midsummer Night's Dream. So come Halloween, all those portals and everything open up. The fairies and everything come out and they're trying to get the humans back, appease themselves in the ways that St. Patrick told them not to do anymore and got rid of them. One of the ways that they did that was to turn into creatures that looked like humans but weren't actually humans and tried to trick people into it. Now, the conspiracy that comes around with modern time in that is that's the reason the uncanny valley exists, which is what a lot of us experience when we're watching things like AI art or AI digital things that we can tell aren't quite human. They may be similar and may look like it, like a chat GPT video or something. But the reason that we evolved to be able to see something that isn't human and be able to detect that is because we had to survive against those kinds of creatures like that hide in Avalon. So a very, very spooky trip that you could take, depending on how much you believe, would be to go to Ireland, camp out in the woods on Halloween.
Yeah, no.
See if you make it to the see if you make it to the next day.
No.
That's also because of what you were saying about the uncanny valley and stuff like that. Have you ever seen any analog horror on YouTube talking about
analog
alternates?
Horror, maybe.
Analog horror. It's like it's horror based off of like
what you see.
VHS. No, it's like it's based off of like VHS. A lot of it is training videos with like the VHS lines going through it and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember this because like each.
Oh, you mean like the movie VHS?
No, not the movie VHS, but it's like
each as it progresses, it gets more eerie.
Yeah. And
no, I'm gonna have to add that to the
like,
list also.
Yeah, just type in analog horror, in YouTube.
So basically,
like
just I've seen that. It's just a train. It's like a training video.
Yeah.
And then like it starts off like normal, and then as it progresses, each like image gets like more eerie.
Mm-hmm.
It has like you have to pick between like a real human and an alternate human, and like the pictures are like at first it's like this is a little kid Billy, and this is a little kid with like his eyes are slightly too far apart or something like that. And then you're like, well, that kid looks not normal, so click on him. And then like the next time it'll show like a woman. It shows the pictures like alternately, so it'll like come up a picture of a woman, and then it'll come up a picture of like a horribly grotesque, like the eyeballs, like a black face with white eyeballs and stuff like that. And then you're like, oh, okay. that was the alternate. And then it has
one more thing to make it extra creepy because, Ireland's relatively isolated, and that was their stories. And if for anybody that's interested in this, I'm not an absolute authority, so please look at the mythology. But that's Ireland. The Celts spread a good bit, but the concept mythology of a shapeshifter that tries to make itself look human in order to gain some kind of advantage over our existing humans exists in every single mythology that I can think of. It exists in Greek mythology. Zeus was constantly shape-shifting, as well as some of the other gods. And Zeus, he got nitty-gritty with some of the human females there.
I was going to say, Zeus mainly did it to get a nut.
Yeah, the man was P. Diddy out there.
I would say Nick Cannon, maybe not P. Diddy.
Yeah, Nick Cannon, not P. Diddy.
But it also exists in other mythologies. For instance, shapeshifters such as skinwalkers, everybody's favorite, Native American mythology there. It exists in Japanese folklore. It exists in Romanian folklore. It exists in practically every single one I can think of. Even Norse mythology. Odin was constantly changing himself into things. Same with Loki. So maybe there's some validity to that at one point in our history, long since gone, we did need to have that kind of sense about us. If every single culture out there had some kind of story about that, maybe there's some truth to it.
I believe it. Nope, I believe it. I think the deers behind my my house are skinwalkers. No, see,
Listen
these
for when
deers.
they start calling your name.
No, every time I leave for work at night, there'll be deers in the backyard, and they're just laying there like they own the place. I'm like, I know what y'all are. Y'all better get the fuck out my backyard.
Yeah.
But the same thing. The same thing with when you're talking about, because all these cultures are talking about the same creature.
Shape-shifting?
Yeah. Dragons. I believe they're real at some point. Every country, every country
That's
has
true.
has a some kind of form of dragon. So I believe back in the day, all these creatures did exist, or they still exist, and now they're hiding. But they did.
Or maybe they saw a big lizard and they were like, dragon.
So I saw this video on I think it was Instagram recently. It makes it fun. Now I'm no biologist either, so preface again. But what somebody's pointing out is, I think scientifically we said that T-Rexes would like cluck and actually did have feathers, like they didn't roar or whatever, like you see in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But, yeah, basically. Supposedly, some people are saying that they were the prehistoric version that eventually evolved into a chicken, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
That's so upsetting for Wade.
Pointed out that
No,
I
I
saw
saw
is that they took the bones of the T-Rex and were comparing them to some current day ones, and what it was relating to the most was an ostrich. It's got big old wings. So they said that they didn't actually have those teeny tiny T-Rex arms. In fact, they were dragons and they had wings.
Oh, yeah.
I like that theory, because why not? I like dragons.
I can see it.
That's my favorite Magic the Gathering deck. Dragons.
I thought you were going to say about, because I saw a YouTube video where they were talking about where scientists were recreating like the nasal passages based on the
Bones,
like the bone structures and everything like that, and they were saying that dinosaurs wouldn't have roared like we see in all like the
I mean, maybe not. I mean at those times nothing may have been roaring.
yeah
Maybe if you're going through, honestly, if I was going through the woods, like let's say I'm some prehistoric man in a weird time where I'm walking with dinosaurs and I heard some giant creature clucking, I'd freak out. That seems a lot more terrifying than something roaring. Something roaring sounds like an action movie. I'm gonna haul ass.
Yeah.
But if I'm going through the woods and something just
You
starts
hear
going
cluck.
thud,
Cluck,
and you just hear bagok, bagok. I'm like,
they
hell
had
no.
something, I forget
sounds
what
like nightmare
dinosaur it
fuel.
was, but they said that it
It's a
actually
giant rooster.
they might have actually like communicated like whales, like low rumbling.
I can believe it.
Or something like that. I forget what dinosaur they were talking about, but it was like they played it and it was just like
That's my belly.
yeah, basically like that low rumbling, and they were talking about that being more terrifying than like a loud roar or something like that. To
I
just
think
hear,
so. I would be
Yeah.
terrified for
Yeah.
sure.
out
See,
in the middle of
'cause-
prehistoric
'cause-
woods and just hearing like
Yeah,
See,
honestly.
because with a loud roar, you know what you're getting, so you can run. But with a so what's happening? It's the anticipation of not knowing what it is.
It's like when the
And
bass
then
is too
it's
high.
just
at
like
concert.
a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
All the film directors that are watching this podcast, take notes.
We want more anticipation.
I can't act for shit, but I'll just stunt work for you. Let's make a good horror movie.
If ghosts are real, why aren't there any ghost dinosaurs? All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Mic drop.
And there's your TikTok clip.
No, but it's time. There's time.
You gotta do it slow, like one of those clips. If ghosts are real, then why aren't there any dinosaur ghosts?
You know what one of my favorite videos is? I'll see if I can find it, and that'll probably be the last thing, because I mean, we can go a little bit over because of the thing.
Hey, I appreciated that the last episode was an hour and a half. It gave me a whole episode to watch through the gym. So,
but yeah, all right. So stalling.
Yeah.
What y'all eating?
Fruit Loops.
No, I can carry on while he looks this up. But Ireland is still one of my bucket list items, and going there on Halloween is also the bucket list item. Whether or not I'll return, that'll be another story. But if I don't, then you guys need to look for me in the land of Avalon. Either that, or it's going to turn into some cool action movie. I'm going to pull out some holy sword or something and start chopping down some fairies.
No, not fairies.
St. Patrick taught me well. Let's go.
This.
Oh no, what is this?
It sounds like AG from this end.
Watch.
What?
What on earth? Oh god, it's all toilet noises.
Look.
Please tell me the mic's kidding us. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's all just toilet sounds.
Oh wait. Shit.
Can we show that?
I don't know. I'm just showing him.
It's a weird showing Wiz the
What on earth
video.
am I watching? What kind of algorithm do you have?
It's ridiculous. I don't know if we can show it.
It's so good.
I'm crying.
It's a video.
I'm crying.
It's a video of a guy like in his underwear, and he's like, "I'm gonna take a shit on my roommate's door," and he just walks over to the door and just rips ass. And then you see like a little orb fly by the screen while it's happening, and then in the middle of it, he's just like, you hear like a, "Did you see that? You can see starting from the top left," and it has an arrow on the orb, but it's slowed down, and you just hear the whole time when it's following an orb. Best ghost footage ever.
I'm crying.
This is the best ghost footage ever.
Stupid. It's so stupid.
I know.
I'm crying. I'm crying. We're gonna Anthony, you want to plug Wiz?
Be sure to tune into my channels. Follow if you're not following on my Twitch. Find me at GameWiz10 on practically every social media out there. YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. Be sure to follow the ShinoBroz. We'll be doing clips like this and having great adventures, and we're gonna all camp out in the woods in Ireland on Halloween. You know, may or may not return.
Yep, that's what we're gonna
And
do.
I'm gonna get better at editing shorts faster and, and uploading
Oh, I'm
them.
terrible at
There
it too.
will be shorts on the channel again.
Yeah, we're gonna skin some walkers and eat them.
Yeah.
I want to stream again, so I should have at least one, maybe two streams up on my channel. Nope. What is my, I haven't streamed in a long time. What is my channel? WadeMFMorgan on Twitch.
How do I know that he did?
WadeMFMorgan at twitch.tv, something like that. I don't know, Wiz. What is it?
WadeMFMorgan. It's twitch.tv/WadeMFMorgan. That would be the same for me for GameWiz10. I did promise Jericho that I was going to stream that Wendigo game this year.
Oh, the story based one, the Until Dawn.
We almost went one whole episode without mentioning Jericho.
We always
had to do it, he's their Easter egg.
It's like the hidden mix.
Timestamp it each time. Whoever timestamps it first, Jericho mention.
Yeah,
I think we mentioned Jericho every episode.
Comment.
Pretty much
every episode.
Maybe not the Krabby Patty one, but pretty much every one. Okay, but let's go to Spooky Guys. Go to Spooky Guys.
We're gonna go trick or treating.
Trick or treating.
Trick or treating.
Trick or treating, Wiz.
Yeah, Wiz. Trick or treating.
I've got lamb on the smoker, so there you go.
All right.
Oh dang, them kids getting good trick or treats.
Piece of meat for you. Piece of meat for you.
High protein. Hit the gym after this,
sir. Yeah. Why are you just giving us raw meat? Can you at least put it in the bag, please?
But
what are you doing?
I'm reaching. I'm ending it kind of fast because I have to pee.
Okay.
Do like the old PewDiePie.
Like, rate, subscribe, follow us on our channels, ShinoBroz.com, blah, 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 bye. Peace.